What up, bosses? Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We're just waiting for the final teams to sign up and we're going to be able to get underway our Q3 EU tournament tonight. Last week we had some really big games. The Jade Croak combo that actually ended up winning in the end was deadly for sure. The whole Croak in one of their foes, and then Jade just lines up a snipe, which in that sense is big enough damage. But then when they're literally stunned for an additional second on top of that, they just unload the whole cliff, and Croak just puts his venom down. He had his ultimate up, they were absolutely wrecking. So it'll be interesting to see what team comps we get pulled through to this one. We did see a lot of Baku and Lucy, which I didn't really like too much. I thought the Bakus were pretty good and they made some nice individual plays, it was pretty solid, but I didn't really like the whole sort of comp. It just lacked damage. Obviously the two new champions are out right now, which is big hype. I haven't actually got around to playing the Ranger, but I've been playing the, I can't actually think of his name off the top of my head, new demon guy, and he's a lot of fun. He has this big grab, put him into you, and can also, what I like is his actual shift abilities. I don't really use my shift abilities all that much, to be honest. I like to try and rush my ultimates on most champions, but his are pretty big. One of them drains health for them, and the other one's another big heal for him, which is really cool. So maybe we get to see some big plays from them. Let's see, I think Pearl's really strong at the moment. So I've been coming up against a lot of Pearls, and she's just so unkillable. The fact that she can actually reposition her ultimate, I just find it generally pretty crazy. And also with Halloween now, maybe we actually get to see some cool Halloween weapons. Obviously the new Halloween patch is out right now, and every champion actually does have a new weapon, and also every champion that didn't have a previous epic weapon, I believe, or legendary, I think it's legendary, I think that's the right term for it. Any champion didn't have one has actually got one now as well. Okay, so I'll turn the music, thanks sir. I'll turn the music off once we go into game, but I just have it up whilst we're chilling. But yeah, we're literally just waiting for the teams to all register. Hopefully that's all good, man. If you want to turn down anymore, just let me know. But yeah, hopefully we should be up and running in a couple minutes. Just waiting for all the stragglers to confirm they're going to be playing. But yeah, we had some nice games. But the Halloween skins, I was a bit disappointed at first, because I didn't think Battlerite were actually doing anything for Halloween. The only thing I saw was that there was the contest you could win if you were able to draw, which I couldn't draw a stick man. So these Halloween skins, the mounts look absolutely so cool, and Jade's weapon is insane. Croak's, all the blood dripping out of it. Really nice stuff. Hopefully some of our, like you say, even though the chests have gone up to 750 gold, which is making it a little bit harder to actually pick them up. You can pick up like 10 chests, like 10 euros or something, which isn't too bad, to be honest. I think I'll put some money on myself to get some chests and hopefully get some of the cool weapons. Also the new map, which I had the chance, I was told that it might be only 3v3 only, which seems a bit odd, but potentially could be the case. I'm not 100% sure on that. And also the joys of unranked being added now, which is really cool. It's nice because obviously ranked isn't really all that massively important at the moment. You can get massive points, but it's nice that you can actually go into a game now and you can play any champion you want, which is cool. Obviously today I played like four games with the new demon dude, and I lost every one because I didn't really have a clue. I didn't really my abilities properly, and it was cool. But the nice thing also is with the unranked, they're not going to split up the player base with it, because basically the way it works, if you guys checked out the patch notes, so if you queue for unranked, you can potentially go against people that are playing ranked, but you won't lose any points and they're still gain points, which is kind of a nice way of doing it, because if they were to do the unranked and ranked at the moment, especially with the you having to pay and it not being free to play at the moment, it would quite split up the player base. So I like the fact that they've decided to go that way around it. What up, bosses? Hope you're having a great day so far. We've got some nice plays coming up. Don't forget, if you think you can top the guys in this video, leave me your in-game ID and replay below. Also on a quick side note, I'm going to be casting Q2 of the Play Tawny Battlerite tournament on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrBigRuss.
If you have any
This
issues logging in, I can, the best thing I can recommend
$250 up for grabs for EU and NA. It is on the actual Play Tournament website.
Starting off this episode's top 5, we have Fish Eden, bitch slapping Rook, who starts off the clip with his Tremor ultimate to secure the middle orb, also landing a nice blow onto Shifu, who counters his next attack with Kunju. Asgard cancels Rook's incoming charge with Firestorm. Had that landed, it would most likely been a dead Shifu. With no health orbs up, Shifu is chinning on the backside whilst Asgard tries to put the smackdown on Rook, only for him to make a good counter. Asgard then panics, using his ultimate to escape. I feel if he went in the other direction, this clip would be over. Because of this, Shifu takes a bolt as a base and Asgard takes a leg of meat, only for his final fireball to catch Rook, resulting in a draw. I did find when I was playing that masked creature that actually I didn't know if it was me because I didn't properly read my abilities and I was kind of rushing in the games with like Alpha for tonight. So I wasn't sure if it was me, because I went against you and he was doing substantial damage. The Ranger, I think, looks really strong. How he can actually recast an ability once he's stacked up so many auto attacks, but still landing some nice blows onto the pretty cool. It allows him to be really mobile. Lola was able to reposition herself using her Spirit Guide ability, only for Asgard to jump back on top of her, but with a well-timed Spirit Rift, he's able to unload another clip of the little guy as he tries to dash to safety. Luckily for him, the green health orbs had just spawned on the bottom side, and Jade couldn't get the right angle on her snipe to finish him off with the wall taken and an unfair beating. Picking up his ultimate for the third time this round, he once again hits both bows, dropping Paloma in the process, and then making one of the best jukes I've ever seen to dodge out the incoming snipe and finish Jade with just 6 health remaining. GG, my friend. Coming at number 3, we're going to see another Rook losing out on the middle orb but landing a nice armor break and tremor combo on Baku. He then misses his ultimate completely and takes unnecessary damage for leaving the arena. With a good time counter, he avoids Jade's incoming stun. As he goes to finish her off, she's able to leap over him, only for him to turn around and crush her with his rush ability. Baku is then able to push him out of the arena as both of them drop under 20 health. Rook then lands a nice boulder toss, even Baku's war shell having a health stop there. Rook makes a nice 2v1. First aid kit on it.
Taking our second place today, we're going to be seeing some Paloma action, with all her teammates down, she's left in a 1v3. The main thing I'd like to see now is she releases her Ghost Orb, off all 3 targets, eliminating Freya in the process. Taking a mouthful of Astral Beam, she enters the Spirit Realm to secure the health orbs or even gold in the arena, but does lose out on middle orb in the process. Setting her sights on Tear, she completely whiffs her ultimate and then gets locked in place by Petrified. Luckily for her, she's able to pick up a soul of one of her dead allies, and this time lands a nice Ancestral Spirit ultimate. Sudden death causing the arena to close in, there isn't much time for the heroes to mess around with. As she jukes out the incoming Petrify and starts working on the middle orb, only to lose out on it once again.
With the
new
chest
cost 750
gold, so if you want to get one of these chests with actual in-game currency,
and other side abilities to position himself to land a deadly blow with Ghost Orb on tail. Thanks to that earlier orb, Sirius has another ultimate, but again a great time panic to cancel it and knock him out the arena, using Celestial Spirit to leap back in, only for her to tag the Spirit Guide, which allows her to bounce back into the centre just as the middle orb once again spawns. Finally, this time she secures it, and Sirius has no chance with the arena closed in this much. GG. Taking our number 1 spot today, we're going to see the poisonous assassin that is Croak stuck in a 1v3. As we join the clip, we see him line up a deadly double man
looks like we're pretty much
Jade perfectly time running boss. But Paloma still takes a mouthful of venom. Thanks to her earlier death, he's able to refill his energy bar within seconds of using his ulti, which allows him to once again set up a double man ultimate, but no surprise, Jade leaps to safety. This time the venom tickers too much for Paloma, as we're now left with a 2v1 with Croak being hunted down by Taya and her companion. As he leaps over the wall, he lands on top of Jade and slices her in half, leaving us in a 1v1. Boy, that escalated quickly. Once again, we're going to see Taya call upon her companion, but Croak is still able to score both health orbs, using the wall to his advantage until her companions run away. As he lunges through her, he procs his camouflage ability and inflicts a big stun as she's caught on the outside of the sudden death timer. With only 3 health remaining. Alright then, so our first game for today in our Q3 of the EU. Also, don't forget guys, we will have the NA one, which will be later on tonight, come about midnight. We'll be getting underway for that. Should be a lot of fun. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Taya, a little punk Taya. She looks like a little motorbike gangster. I think she's a bad girl. And Older, the Keeper of Time. Looks like they're going to a double range. It should be quite interesting if Zavaris and Iva come out. Are they going to be switching up? We're going to be seeing Lucy. Quite an interesting little combo. A little pumpkin. He looks so happy. I wish I could carve pumpkins. That would be cool. true OG. Looks like the team can't make up their mind at the moment. Who they want in tense moments. That pick could be, oh, Baku. What I like to see. My man. Also, Rook actually got a buff in this previous patch, which is quite nice to see. They were saying that, I think he's quite strong, but the problem with him is that when he does actually go it in, he misses your charge. Like, if you land a charge, like, it's pretty deadly, especially if you take the rush talent level 1, which they have actually slightly changed now. But if you do land that, you're going to be pretty deadly, but problem is if you do miss it, you could just take loads of unnecessary damage for sure. So this game, we're going to see Mycon Hello with a free versus Ratini. Our first game of the Q3, big hype. Obviously the winners of this, the overall winners, will be moving on to the finals on November the 11th, where there's $250 up for grabs for EU and also NA. And there's still, if there's still plenty of chance, if you guys haven't actually got involved yet and you want to play, you can sign up at Play Tourney, and there's going to be the last qualifiers next week on Friday. So, my man, Baku and Askai has changed it up, so this was quite a nice little comp. I think they've certainly got some nice damage here. We'll see how he actually uses the walls. He's had a few talents changed himself, actually, with this new patch. A real big patch. This one was just come in. They're going to be coming up against Lucian Teo. We're just waiting for Askai to join in, potentially having some connection issues, maybe. Everyone's connected. Happy days. There's always one slacking about. This is not an official tournament, it's being run by Play Tourney. You can check out playtourney.com. We are currently on a Q3, so we had a previous tournament last week and one before, with the final, or with one more tournament coming next week, and then the finals will be taking place on November the 11th. They're mounted up and are almost ready to go. We're just waiting on Asgard to select his final talent. And we're in then! So we got the double Warhound mounts, the lucky guys. No Warhound mounts, it feels bad, bro. So again, the importance I really feel is getting this middle orb early on. Obviously we have a ranged and a support versus a ranged and a melee, so potentially if the blue team can play it well, they're going to be able to kite them out and heal them well. But we'll see. I really feel if Baku, as you can see here, he's currently getting poked down. Askar's on the back side. He does actually jump in here, and a nice whirlwind coming by Terra, and he's taking some big damage here, and it looks like the blue team are going to be taking this round easy done, as Terra does say herself. Easy. Pretty nice. The problem was there, the Baku just took so much initial damage. He dropped down to about 50% health within around about 5 seconds, or even 10 seconds. He got absolutely pounded then. And that's going to be the case here with two double range champions, that they're going to easily get poked down. I think if you can get on top of them, you know, in some sense they have a panic, and then also Teo has a knockback, and then the whirlwind, so they have some good kite potential. They have the shields. It's going to be hard, because Baku isn't like Rook, he doesn't have the biggest charge. But they do land it right, and if Ascar can get his molten fire underneath, and potentially a nice stun combo could turn it around. But they're going to have to be really careful, and also you're going to have to keep in mind that if they don't do it quickly, then the blue team are just going to be able to heal up and outpoke them again, when literally we saw in that last round. As once again, Baku with a deadly infection on him has already dropped down to 50% health. Middle orb is about to spawn in about 3 seconds. I don't think we're even going to actually see any team take this now. Another nice whirlwind coming by Tail. The importance of that move real strong, as you can see the blue team easily pick off Baku here, and Ascar left in 2v1 situation. I think he's going to struggle to turn this one around. Potentially may pick up the orb, a little bit cheeky. Blue team do pick it up. Nicely done. We're about to enter sudden death. Will they need it? A nice stun. The range on the boomerangs is crazy, and nicely played.
You did good.
Making quick work with this. So can the red team turn this around? There's still always hope. They just need to get one good catch, but Lucy and Teo really seem on point. Her whirlwinds have been perfect, comboed with her boomerangs. That stun has just been absolutely deadly though. Baku has just been unable to do anything. And by the time Ascar was able to follow up, it's just too late, and he's kind of left on his own like, yo bro, help me out here, man. We see both teams charging in once again. Blue team is split at the moment. Baku is going in onto his own, but a nice knockback coming in from Teo. He's putting some reasonable damage down as Lucy's batting Asker out on the top side, but once again the red team have already dropped under 50% health and the blue team are just going to be able to heal up here. Middle orb is up, Asker is actually deciding to take this while Baku is keeping them busy, but the problem with keeping them busy, he's unable to heal back up, and the blue team once again pick him off easy enough. The orbs are up here, but I think that Asker is going to struggle to make anything happen here. Nicely played by the blue team, they just outranged the red team, and the problem there was really that Baku was in, he was keeping them busy, and Asker wasn't on the same page length. Whilst he was trying to take middle orb, Baku could have pulled in, but by the time they decided to actually group, it was too late, it was over. He has picked his ultimate up, we may see Molten Infernal Scorch come out, but will it be to any avail? That is the question, as he doesn't even get the chance to pop it. Nicely done by the blue team. They were just able to use their ranged advantage, and they easily poked down the red side. GG. So we're probably going to be a couple minutes away from our next game, as we've just got to wait, as this was it was a pretty quick game. We're going to have to wait for the other teams to actually wrap up, and then we'll move on. I'll just put this on the background whilst we wait. Quick look. I'll try and find out. I don't think the brackets will actually update at the moment, as that game was so quick. This is our current brackets going into the next phase, but again, with the game being so quick, we're still going to have to wait on a few teams to actually finish up. Be interested to see if either team, the new champs are available for them to play, so it'd be interesting if either team do decide to actually pick up the new champs. Yeah, they are available. The new champions, I haven't actually got around to playing the Ranger yet, but played on the new Demon Dude, and seems quite a bit of fun. Wasn't 100% sure what I was doing with him, but he did feel a little bit underpowered, but I did see some nice ones. His grab actually looks pretty deadly. Obviously when his ultimate, how he can actually constantly be grabbing people in is pretty nice. I really like his shift abilities as well, the fact that both of them kind of heal him, which gives him a lot of sustain, which is cool. I'm interested to see if anyone does actually play him in the tournament. Maybe they're not confident on him at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll also see some teams with the Halloween weapons. Halloween, obviously, with this patch, every champion in-game does actually have a Halloween weapon. I'm a big fan of Jade, so I think Jade looks really cool. Also Croaks with the blood dripping off the daggers is really nice, so be interesting to see if anyone's been lucky enough to get anything cool. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Lucy and Tay again. That was the combo that was pretty deadly in our last round. And they're going to be coming up against an Asker and Lucy. How about that? Some love for Lucy. It worked out pretty nicely. So now we both have casters, ranged, two rangers. What's two rangers? So interesting to see how this works. As the last game with the Baku, they just got poked out instantly. Asker was unable to do anything because Baku was dead, and he was just left in a 2v1 situation where he really didn't stand a chance. I'm a big fan of Asker. I think he throws out a lot of damage. He's got high mobility with the dashes, and he has got double dashes. He's got a shield. I guess you could use his ultimate as escape if you really want to. He's got the fireball to protect himself. But at the same time, as Ted doesn't actually have no sound. The sound should be. You have no sound at all? You cannot hear me? If you can't. Maybe we might be having some issues with sound. So, nonetheless, we're going to be jumping in with the middle orb about to spawn. The blue team look to be in control of this. Nice projectiles coming in from Asker to secure that for his team. Okay, I'll have to sort out the game sounds. It seems like Battlerite might actually bugged whilst we come out of the last game. I'll sort it out for next round. For the next game. Apologies about that, bosses. So jumping in back into things, we have middle orb. Blue team did actually pick that up from the last round. Red team do actually pick that up themselves, as both teams are trading big blows at the moment, but no one taking sufficient damage as Lucy on either team is healing up. But we do see the companion called it in by the red team, but a nice petrify onto Tear is going to keep her in place, and she isn't really going to make too much out of her ultimate this time round. Middle orb is once up again. Red team do kind of control the area, but blue team are battling the way in. Both teams over 80% health now, as either side Lucy is healing up. We're going to see Askar pick up his ultimate. We'll see what he does with an Infernal Scorch this time around, as a nice petrify onto the red side Lucy means that he's guaranteed to hit it. She does actually kind of waste her ultimate here, as both are trading blows, but no one's really going down here, as it seems like a pretty even battle at the moment. We're 30 seconds away from sudden death closing in the arena. Both orbs on the outer side of the map have spawned now. Middle orb is up once again, but it does look like the blue team potentially could be in trouble here, as Askar's taking some big damage. Nice blows coming in from Tear with her boomerangs there. But the blue team starting to battle it back and trying to take some ground here, as we're about 5 seconds away from entering into sudden death. Once again, Askar does have his ultimate. We'll see what he lines up here, as Lucy's constantly heating him up. Tear and Lucy are a little bit split on this top side at the moment. Once again, mid is up as we've entered sudden death. He is going to be a blue side. Do actually pick up the orb this time. Nicely done. Askar is still holding on to his ultimate, and we'll see what happens here, as the arena is just going to start closing in on these foes now. Askar on a 30% health is in a little bit of trouble, and the red team are looking a bit healthy. There's a nice boomerang coming in. She's going to be able to call in her companion. I think this is going to be it for the blue team, as petrify onto both of them. Really nice by the red side of Lucy. GG. Sorry about the game sound, bosses. I'm not really sure what's happened there. It was running a second ago. I shall sort out for the next round. It's not the same how the game sounds, I know that. The amount of times when I've joined the game and my sounds been unable to work, and you're kind of stuck in like 40 minutes. I've been stuck in like 40 minutes of games of League where you're just stuck there and it's just silent. It's never good. Never know when your enemy's creeping up behind you. So the red team did take that. That was nicely done by them. It felt quite even for a while, as both teams were trading blows, but when Askar did actually pick up his ultimate, Tear got a nice whirlwind combo along with her boomerang stun, and it really caused some big damage onto him. Middle orb's going to be coming up about 5 seconds. Askar does jump in, getting a couple of hits onto Lucy, but not really causing her much trouble at the moment, as he does actually miss his molten fire there. And the blue team once again do secure the middle orb, and we'll see if this actually pays them with their ultimates coming up a little bit sooner. Askar does miss out on his projectiles there as he dashes in to try and put some damage onto Tear. She's about 30% away from her ultimate. Askar does have his Infernal Scorch up. We'll see what he can make of this. He did actually get some nice hits last time, but Lucy was able to heal up through the damage. As the bottom tier is really, I feel that Lucy and Askar really should be taking advantage of the red side Lucy caught on the top side of the map here. Blue team do actually secure middle orb again, but we're going to see Tear coming in with her companion. Last round she put out some big damage, not making too much happen this time. We're going to be about a minute away from sudden death. I'm pretty sure we're going to be entering it here, as once again Lucy on either side is healing up very nicely. Middle orb is up. I feel that the red team should be able to secure this. A nice knockback by Tear. Looks like she's going to be able to pick that up for her team, which she does. Nicely done. As both team, once again, I already feel Tear is making the difference here. These boomerangs, the ricochet she's getting off them has proven deadly once again. She gets a big side onto Lucy and once again has her ultimate. We still haven't actually seen Askar clutch with Infernal Scorch. As we say that, he goes in but doesn't really make much happen for it, as his Lucy's kited away by Tear on her companion. Once again, middle orb is up and it's going to be going to the red team. With 10 seconds until we enter sudden death, I really feel that the red team have got this one in the bag at the moment. They've been able to poke them down nicely. And Lucy's going to be unable to heal Askar through that kind of damage. Both health orbs are on the top side, but a nice whirlwind once again with the boomerang combo. Puts out some big damage and we enter sudden death now. Nice petrify once again coming in by Lucy. He's allowed Tear to pick up both health orbs on the bot side, as Lucy does have her ultimate now and should be able to easily pick up the blue side Lucy, as Askar's going to get dropped here. A petrify is only going to delay things. Nicely done by the red side. The new champions are not banned, they are playable. Yeah, the new champs are playable. We haven't actually seen anyone play them yet. I guess maybe some of them feel that they don't have enough game time in there yet, don't feel too confident as they want to go into the final rounds. Hopefully we'll see someone pick them up. Yeah, it was a very nice whirlwind bomb. The Taya here is playing it very nicely. Even deadly, especially the combo with her boomerang blades there into the stun just proved so deadly. Yeah, that was just on her own. She didn't even have Lucy backing her up to put that kind of damage out. So will the red team get a clean straight here? Is the question. Again, for any of you guys joining, apologies about the game sound not working, and we'll sort it out for the next round. Next game. We're just making sure Lucy's trying to decide on what talent to make. Troublesome. They obviously, in this patch which has just been dropped, a lot of talents have actually been changed for champions, which does make things a little bit more interesting. Rook's got some nice talents which change, which I'd like to see, with the buff coming into him as well. Hopefully we'll see some Rook a little bit later on. As red team trade some big blows here. A nice stun coming in by Askar as he lands all three of his fire projectiles onto Lucy. But once again, the red team are just kind of healing through this. Another 3 projectiles onto Tear, and this is actually what they need. This is a great start for the blue team as they're going to secure middle orb here. And Askar already has his ultimate up. Let's see what he can make happen here as he's got Lucy caught out on the bottom side with Tear nowhere to be seen. A nice whirlwind does actually keep her alive at this moment in time as Tear is caught on the bottom side with deadly infection. We're going to see Askar putting some pounding down. It looks like the blue team should be taking this round with a bit of a comeback on hand. Some nice damage going on to Tear here. I think the difference really in here was with these 3 projectiles off his right mouse button. He's pretty much landed them every time, and it's pretty devastating. Red team do actually pick up middle orb here, which is going to give them that bit of bonus health and energy, but a nice deadly infection coming onto the red side Tear, and our blue team should be actually taking this to another round. GG, really nice. We do see her pick up her ultimate from her Dead Eye's soul, but it's not going to be enough. Really nice. Yeah, the big difference I really feel that Askar landed like every projectile then, which was huge. The difference his right mouse button actually does make landing that then was devastating. GG. We're just going to wait for them to pick up final talents. Tear tries to make up her mind. I'm quite a big fan of Inspiration, I feel, with Slayer. As much as it's nice to deal like 20% damage to people under 30% health, I really feel if they're under 30% health, that you're probably going to be poning them anyway. So Inspiration, being able to get all your abilities, getting your ultimate a lot quicker, or even your X-shift abilities quicker, I think is always beneficial. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're having a good night so far. If you apologies, the game sound isn't working at the moment. We'll be sorted out for the next game. As we jump in with the blue team looking to be a bit more aggressive this time, let's see if Askar can be on point with his skill shots as he land 2 deadly blows onto Tear this time around, missing out on the final one. Middle orb's about 5 seconds from coming up, and that's going to be quite important here as both teams are taking some nice blows. Askar has dropped a slightly low, but once again, Lucy is throwing out some big heals as blue side should pick this up, which they do. Nicely done as Askar was able to pick up both green health orbs on the bottom side. A panic away, and Tear is split away from her teammate, and it's going to see how they go about focusing here as Tear's already got her ultimate, and she's going to be able to summon a companion, could put some nice damage, but she's currently petrified with deadly infection going down. Askar and Lucy are split as Tear calls on her ultimate, and Lucy could be in trouble here, but for some reason Tear has decided, I think she actually got panicked. I can't see any other reason that she would have ran on there, and through this it's allowed to Askar to actually get some big damage onto the red side. Lucy is going to make Infernal Scorch, but a greatly timed tornado coming in from Tear to actually save her teammate there, and I'm pretty sure she would have been dead if it wasn't for that. Nicely played. Middle orb's going to be up for about 4 seconds. Tear already has her ultimate once again. She calls in her furry friend. They have actually changed it, so she's now actually riding on the mount she has selected, this time riding on the Molten Warhound mount, which is really nice to see. But with blue team looking commanding, that whirlwind save from Tear looks like it's actually turning up as blue side are both under 40% health at the moment, and she's putting some nice damage in using her haste to get that additional movement speed with the boomerang combo and the knockback. Nicely done, but the firewall is going to keep the blue side alive for the moment in time with middle orb up, and we're 20 seconds away from hitting sudden death. Blue team do pick this up, and that could be the difference. A slight heal, and also the energy allowing to get their ultimates a little bit sooner, as Askar's about 40% away from getting his Infernal Scorch once again. With the red side Lucy petrified, it's a great time for Tear to be poking down, landing all 3 projectiles onto Lucy then, but she's able to roll away, and with her barrier, still survived at this moment in time somehow. As both teams are trading blow for blow as we enter sudden death now. This really could go either way, but I feel the blue team are looking a bit of control, but a nice deadly stun coming over the wall will keep our allied Lucy safe for now. Blue side do actually pick up the middle orb once again, with both teams pretty close to their ultimates. We're going to see Taya once again calling her ultimate, putting some nice damage onto Asuka as she decides to go for the bot side onto Lucy, but once again a nice petrify into a fireball combo will keep her rooted in place and not make too much use of her ultimate as she drops under a nice knockback out of the arena along with his 2 projectiles landing there. Is going to drop her under 20% health. Another nice knockback onto the red side of Lucy. And we're closing in. This is getting real tight here as Asuka is somehow still alive. And it looks like the blue team have turned this around here. And 2 nice projectiles coming in by Asuka will actually knock her out the arena. And GG. The winner for the LOL giveaway, I'm actually announcing my winner for my LOL giveaway this week, boss. I've got a little announcement to do with my stream. So I will be announcing probably in a couple of days, probably at the end of the weekend I will announce the winner of my LOL giveaway, boss. Really nicely done. That was great play once again from the Asuka, and that's going to take it 2 apiece from going 2-0 down. He has been able landing those skill shots there, and he's been pretty on point with his 3 fire projectiles now, and it's made a big difference. It was a really nice play by Taya to actually avoid him with him going for the Infernal Scorch. She used her tornado to actually throw Lucy out of trouble then, which was really nice to see, but it wasn't enough as we ended sudden death in the end. We're going to be about 6 seconds away from middle coming up. Blue team do have control of the area as he does actually waste all 3 projectiles this time around. But red side are being pushed out the area. For some reason Asuka decides to jump in, which might have been a little bit silly, but he isn't going to take any damage from it. As the blue team do actually lose out on the middle orb then, as the deadly infection going onto the red side. Taya, she has taken a bit of a punishment, a nice petrify, but it is broken by Asuka's fire projectile then. Another big projectile coming in. As they're trading blows, a nice firewall, and they're keeping them out of the arena, but middle orb is about 3 seconds away. He's already got his own ultimate. We'll see what he can actually make with his Infernal Scorch this time, as both teams trade blow for blow. Once again, a real nice tornado coming in by Taya to save her teammate Lucy. That's twice we've now seen this, and it's been proven devastating. The fact that she's been able to get thrown out of the Infernal Scorch, and she misses the stun and also the incoming damage, which is pretty damn painful, but blue team are looking pretty good at the moment. It looks like my fog of war is actually turned off. We'll flick that back on. As they trade blow for blow, I feel that the blue team are looking in a pretty good position now as the red side Lucy is petrified. We are going to see Taya call in her companion. She's starting to put some nice damage onto Lucy, but making good use of the wall. She's going to avoid a couple of those boomerang hits. Blue side look to secure middle orb. I feel the red might actually pick that up, and then I'm not 100% sure. But nonetheless, big blows being traded here as this is really going down to the wire. The Lucy, the heals are coming out left, right and centre, but blue team looking in companion position as they've got about a 10% health lead over their foes. Middle orb, we're about 3 seconds away from seeing that come up again as Asuka does waste his molten fire. Then middle orb has been pushed back as he makes nice use of his firewall. Sends some blood, he's trying to focus down Taya, and to no effect, she's able to use her haste plus the barrier coming from Lucy to actually sprint out of there. A nice Q coming in from Asuka, and I'm pretty sure they're going to pick Lucy up, but with a nice knockback coming in from Taya, I think this is only delaying things. It was a very nice catch by Asuka then, and the blue team from being 2-0 down do actually turn this around. GG. I will sort out the game sound and apologise about the game sound not working for that. It's never as nice. So we're just going to have to wait for the next rounds to be finished, and then we'll be able to jump into the next game bosses. Okay, hopefully that should have sorted out the sound issue. I apologise about that, guys. I'm not really too sure what happened. Technical difficulties, we'll blame it on Windows 10, good old Windows. So we're literally just going to be waiting for a couple of minutes. I'll put the brackets up now so you guys can see what's going on there, but we're just waiting for the final couple of teams from the last round to finish off. We'll be able to jump into the next game. Alright, we shouldn't be too long. We've got 2 of the teams having a bit of a dispute at the moment. It's like the WWE, but not so realistic, I guess. It was an interesting game, the last one. The 2 Lucys were healing up for days. Deary me. I didn't know when that game was going to end. It was a very nice turnaround by the blue team. I think Asuka played it really well in the end. Like, the difference it makes in landing a few skill shots. At the beginning, the red team Taya got some nice boomerang combos off with her whirlwind, which was a wind bomb, which worked really nicely. Come towards the last few rounds, Askar landed some nice molten fists, also landing that projectile, the 3 projectiles. He was hitting most of them, which was causing some big damage, which was cool. Really helped him turn it around for his team. I was quite impressed by Taya. I really feel her, I'm not sure what ability it is, I think it's a tornado, where she was actually able to pull out her friendly Lucy out.
What up, bosses? Hope you're having a great day so far. We've got some nice plays coming up. Don't forget, if you think you can top the guys in this video, leave me your in-game ID and replay it below. So on a quick side note, I'm going to be casting Q2 the Play 20 Battlerite tournament on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrBigRuss, this Friday from 7 PM. You can register below. There is $250 up for grabs for EU and NA. So, starting off this episode's top 5, we have Fish Eden, bitch slapping Rook, who starts off the clip with his Tremor ultimate to secure the middle orb, also landing a nice blow onto Shifu, who counters his next attack with Kunju. Askar cancels Rook's incoming charge with Firestorm. Had that landed, it would most likely been a dead Shifu. With no health orbs up, Shifu is chinning on the backside whilst Askar tries to put the smackdown on Rook, only for him to make a good counter. Askar then panics, using his ultimate to escape. I feel if he went in the other direction, this clip would be over. Because of this, Shifu takes a boulder to the face and Askar takes a leg of meat, only for his final fireball to catch Rook, resulting in a draw. Coming at number 4, we're going to see the masked creature that is Askar land not 1 but 2 perfectly positioned infernal scorches, but he's still got his work cut out.
Unfortunately, that command doesn't actually bring up the bracket. I'll bring up the bracket right now for
all
you,
3 Firestorm charges dropping.
This is the current bracket at the moment in time. With the next game we're going to be casting is going to be Hello Kitty Fluffy Balls vs Hot GD 2 something something something. That's a bit of too much of a mouthful for me to pronounce. Hot Hello Kitty Fluffy Balls. That's a nice name. I like it. So yeah, we'll literally be about a minute or two just getting the lobby set up, and we'll be able to jump in. Okay, so we are pretty much ready. We're just waiting for them to decide on what map they want to play on, and we'll be able to get underway. I'm rooting for Hello Fluffy Balls. Hello Kitty Fluffy Balls, should I say. That kitty is important. It's a bit of an easier name to pronounce than the rounds going on from here. So we might be seeing some Rook finally. Maybe they're watching. No, maybe not. They're just trolling me. Or we could be seeing some new champion love. Obviously, this new patch, which has come out today, has been the release of 2 new champions. I haven't actually got around to playing on this ranged ADC at the moment. He seems really mobile. I'm not too sure how he works. So you can lay some traps down. He has a big knockback with his ultimate. And also, I believe with his auto attacks, if he charged up 3 auto attacks, he actually is able to recast one of his same abilities again, which sounds like a really interesting talent. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. You have to bear with me. I'm still learning this guy because I haven't really seen much of him. But we'll see. I think he has some nice damage from the games I saw. Maybe I just know what's going on. But he's going to be partnering up with Lucy, which has seemed to be every game we've cast so far has actually had a Lucy in, so it's going to be quite popular at the moment. They're going to be coming up against Sirius and also Baku, my man. We'll see how this pans out. He has had a couple of his talents changed now, or Sirius got a little bit of a nerf as well, so we'll see how that actually pans out going into this round, as they are currently gliding around on no mounts. I love it. Star points. That's an entrance right there. I don't know if they're on mounts or not, or I'm just tripping balls or something. Okay, so they're back in the game. Middle orb's going to be about 4 seconds away from spawning. That could be our first team fight, as they're going at the moment. So does actually help his counter a little bit too soon here. It's something you want to really watch out for. When he does actually dive in with his spacebar, the only escape he has out from that is actually his counter. So generally he's going to pop it within about a second or two, and if you can time it right,
he's going to take a lot of damage from that, and he isn't going to be able to get out for a couple of seconds. So it's something, especially towards high level play, you want to watch. As you see, Baku's already got his ultimate, landing his heroic charge onto Lucy. Some big damage coming down, but he is alone at the moment. She is able to barrier up and avoid the incoming damage at this moment of time. He does have 3 stacks on his right mouse button, which will give her a long-lasting snare. And GG, a nice ultimate coming in by Sirius, and they're going to be able to easily lock down this Wolfman. A nice R ability coming in. He does get knocked away. That is his ultimate. As you can see here, he can go invulnerable for a few seconds. You do see him during this time, but it does he does get some crazy amount of movement speed, that's for sure, when he does use that ability. Really nice. I can't believe how quickly he got his ultimate. It shows you the importance of trying to actually land all your abilities and also picking up that middle orb there, which was really nice. GG. Move it into round 2. We'll see how this goes. I feel the blue team will certainly turn it around. They're just going to have to use their range advantage to kite them around, like we saw in the first game against Baku, who just got absolutely wrecked. But obviously, with a healer behind him now, it could prove a little bit difficult. And also, Sirius has his weaken ability. Once he has it charged up, it can cause a lot of damage when timed right. Okay. I see. I saw they changed some of his talents, but I haven't properly actually read through it. Cheers for the heads up. So that's actually quite interesting. I guess it did make him quite strong when he had that. That actually make his level 1 points actually quite interesting. What do you take now? As again, they have no mounts. I love it. No mounts, no style points. Be bummed out if you have one of your Molten Warhound mounts and you just float around inside the map. As there again, we see the weaken with the combo with both of them on top of Lucy. They put some nice damage here. They are going to be out of position with middle arms spawning up, but pushing them out, they potentially, red team could secure this, but they're looking for the kill as Baku starts focusing Lucy down on his own. She's caught out in trouble, does get a nice panic away, and is able to run to the bot side with a trap there. Does see Sirius pick that up as Lucy's dropped under 20% health now, but a nice turnaround on Baku. He does get a nice heroic charge as Mr. Wolfman does actually leap out of the way, which caused him to hit Lucy then. Maybe him actually taking that could have been in favour of the blue team, but unfortunately not today. He does use his R ability to throw out a range of arrows, but it doesn't look like it's going to come to too much use here. As he's stuck in this 2v1, he is actually putting some nice down and using his range advantage to kite them around, and also with that movement speed, a nice ultimate coming in from Sirius is going to channel him down slightly. A good charge coming in for Baku, and they're going to be able to pick up the second round. Nicely done. I thought the blue team had that for a little second, but again, a nice big heroic charge. Him rolling out of the way just left Lucy on her own. She got squashed. Poor girl. Really stood no chance. The blue team, I feel they can turn this around. They just need to be careful of not getting stuck in corners like that. Obviously, with it being caught on the bottom side, it really works into Baku's advantage with the walls. Obviously, Lucy, no mount. I like it. Style points for sure. Baku making the engage, does actually land his leap ability, making some nice blocks with his bulwark there. Get a nice boomerang to Lucy as they're really focusing her down hard here. And the blue team really don't have an answer for this, as once her panic's down, she's pretty vulnerable, to be honest. Middle orb is up once again, but the red team really have no interest in that, and they're looking for the kill. As we do have an ult up for the Wolfman, which will be able to knock them away if they get into trouble. They just need to kite now and try and put a bit of damage down, potentially rotate to mid if they can, as they do have Sirius under 50% health, and this really could go either way. We're going to see a nice counterplay coming in. His ultimate is up with the Incapacitate coming in, and the Deadly Infection. That's going to be a big blow onto him at the moment. Baku trying to put some work down. A nice ultimate coming in is going to mount Lucy down to about 20% health. He is going to miss out on his counter here and get rooted in place. We still hold the ultimate for Mr. Wolfboy as he starts putting some damage down to Baku with the Deadly Infection kicking in. Nice damage. This is like Lucy could be in trouble here, but a big stun into the wall with his ultimate there could be the difference in actually taking this point to another round for the blue team. Nicely done. That ultimate into the wall then was deadly, and his ultimate unfortunately isn't going to be able to do the job just now. Very nicely done. GG. Big turnaround.
The prey have fallen.
That's what the blue team really need to do, is just stick away from the walls, and if they're able to kite their opponents
I'm just going to work in their favour, so that was nicely done on their behalf. I do feel that if Baku and Sirius just go for it, especially with the weakened ability, they can easily pick off one of their targets. They kind of sort of switch focus and end up costing them, as they were just getting outpoked. But the thing is, once they miss their engage ability, especially like with the counter from Sirius, if he actually does miss that there, he's just going to be able to get poked out quite heavily. But we'll see how this pans out going into our next round. With potentially another 2 rounds to go if the blue team can pull this one back. Middle Orb's about 3 seconds away. We haven't really seen much focus on this. It's just been straight out battles, but we're not too much being done at the moment. We may see it finally picked up for once. As they're battling on the top side, some nice trades coming in. A nice charge into right, and this is where the blue team don't want to be, is where Baku can actually make good use out of his E ability. But he is taking a bit of a pound, and he's split away from his teammate. As Wolfman already has his ultimate here, if he can get a nice knock into the wall, it's going to cause some big damage here. Obviously he wants to watch out for the counter from Baku with his shield there. Nicely done. Another wasted counter by Sirius. Middle orb still not been taken, surprisingly enough, just yet. We do have 2 orange orbs, but nice damage coming in onto him. He's going to be able to use his speed to get away now, and his ultimate cancel. Nicely played by Baku, and the red team are looking like they're going to be able to take this one and move on to our semi-finals. Nicely done. I feel he kind of held on to his ultimate a little bit too long. He had to hesitate because he didn't want to be countered by Baku, but once his shield was down, he was still next to the wall. I really feel that he should have went for it. He just held on for it too long, and I don't think he actually even popped it in the end, and that could have been the difference. GG. Really nicely played by the red team. Baku, the problem is they were just hogging the walls as well. The blue team, he pushed into the blue team always into that sort of corner of the walls, and he just becomes so much stronger when he's there. So nicely played, and they're going to be moving on to our semi-finals. We're going to be a couple of minutes away from our next game as well, bosses. I feel you there, brother. That's what I always say. My teammates always hold me back. Know the pain, man. The next game we're going to be casting is going to be Burning Sands versus Mycone Beast. Both teams are ranked 14, and this will be the semi-finals, meaning it's a best of 3. So we'll have one game, and then the winner of that, if they win the next one, will move on to our finals tonight. Just be a couple more minutes, bosses, and we'll be able to jump into the next one. We're just waiting for the final team to finish up so we can start off on the same peggings. It'll be taking us to our semi-final, which is big hype. Also remember, the team that progressed into the final and the winners of this will be going on to the bigger final, which will be taking place on November the 11th, and there's $250 up for grabs for the EU and NA winners. So we do have one more round of qualifying. This is Q3, so it'll be Q4 next week. So if you did actually miss out, or you just found out about this and you want to join in, you can go to playtourney.com and you can register for free, and you'll be able to participate in next week's qualifiers and potentially win yourself some money, or at least have fun trying, or rage at your teammate, rage at your buddy. I'm sure that's how it would go down if I was playing right now. Looks like we're pretty much ready for our first semi-finals of tonight. Big hype. We're going to be seeing Burning Sands versus My Queen Beast. So who'll be moving on to our final. Big hype. Also hopefully we'll be able to see some Brook as well. Fingers crossed. One can dream. Potentially some Croak character will be quite interesting. The Croak and Jade combo from last week was very deadly. Interested to see if Asgard can work as well. I feel that the reason Croak and Jade was able to work out was because of Croak's in-cap, and then into Jade's snipe, and then they were just able to unleash that sort of whole combo without the enemy team being able to do anything. Potentially Lucia. I don't think we've actually... I haven't cast the game tonight which hasn't had Lucia. Lucy. Seems to be quite a popular pick at the moment, for sure. So, starting off a first semi-finals tonight for our Q3 qualifiers is going to be Lucy, who has actually got the Halloween weapon skin now, a little spider, along with Taya, which was the deadly combo from what we saw earlier. Worked really nicely. Really impressed by it. And they're going to be coming up against Asgard and Lucy, which was actually what we saw earlier as well. So we'll see how this pans out. It was a mouthful. It went from 2-0 for the Taya and Lucy, and then it eventually went 3-2 and turned around by Asgard. So we'll see if it's going to be the same case in this situation with Fog of Warriors. We're going to see a little bit more on what's going on. As the red team start off this quite nicely, Asgard does land 2 of his projectiles onto Taya. She is going to hop a haste here along with the barrier and be able to slide a little bit of a nice molten fire combo along with the Petrify onto Lucy then. This is going to put a bit of damage as both teams trading blows pretty evenly now. Mid is up, and that is actually going to fall to the red team, which will allow them to get their ultimates a little bit quicker. Plus the bonus health, which is always nice. A big deadly infection onto the blue side. Asgard is going to cause them a little bit of trouble, but both teams trading blow for blow as they're just under about 60% health now each. Lucy has already picked up her ultimate. Asgard does jump in there and take the big pound for it. A nice firewall, but a nice knockback into the red side. Ultimate is actually going to probably drop him dead here. He is going to be able to fall back to his Lucy along with a panic. Will keep him alive for the next second. He is able to sneak the middle orb then, but I think it's all going to be a bit too late as he does use a nice dash in there along with the barriers and keep him alive. And they're trading blow for blow at the moment, and Lucy's able to actually heal him up from being on literally 2 HP. He's now back up to 41. Nicely played. He does get hit by the World Bomb along with his nice big combo coming in once again, landing all 3 hits onto Taya. Then she is going to drop under 20 health, but a nice boomerang ricochet is going to cause him some issues. Blue side Lucy does chuck in her ultimate, but it's going to be a little too late. Nicely done. Really well played by the red team. I was impressed with Asgard's use of him jumping in there and then also chucking under his molten fire underneath to land that stun combo, but unfortunately for the blue side it wasn't enough. So again, the winners of this, there will be one extra, there will be another game, potentially 2 more depending on how it actually pans out. But nicely done by the red side. They really capitalised. I'm liking the use of Taya's Tornado once again, being able to pull herself out or Lucy out of danger makes a big difference. They're able to avoid a lot of damage from it, and also generally means that the enemy team, in this sense Asgard overextend, is trying to get involved,
and then when they both pop out with them both being ranged, they can really unload some nice damage. As Ascar once again jumps in and gets another big multiplier combo as he uses, he lands all 3 of his projectiles, but split focus here, middle orb is up once again. He is going to carry on the aggression, nice multiplier combo once again with Lucy. The Petrify is working on really nicely here as they're both trading blows, but the blue team have taken a bit of a pounder here. Ascar isn't afraid to get involved, he has panicked into the wall as Taya does pull her companion and is starting to throw out some ricochets onto the blue side. Taya, as the red team starting to take a little bit of a command and lead here. Blue team do pick up the middle orb. Once again, nice panic away into the multiplier combo. Is going to actually leave her petrified here, but Lucy is caught on the bottom side and Ascar is falling low to the enemy Taya as they're taking big for blow. A nice petrify panic coming in, and that is going to leave Ascar for dead. A nice petrify coming out by Lucy, but it's only really going to delay things here as the red team take it 2-0. I'm really liking the use of Ascar's shift ability here, where he's jumping in, he dashes in, and that way it guarantees that he actually petrifies both opponents, but they're not really following up enough damage there, or something's not working, as every time they do it and they look like he's made a really nice play there, the blue side seem to actually come out the worst from it. So I'm not sure that I feel that maybe Taya with her ricochets bouncing off, obviously she's been landing some nice stuns with her boomerangs and making good use out of her tornado and wind bombs for sure. So the red team may be able to take a clean skate here, but they will still need to win one more game before they one more actual full-on game before they move on to the finals. So far so good for the red side, working nicely. We're going to see it after this game if the blue team decide to switch it up or they're going to go for this current build. Ascar is actually riding on one of the new mounts from this current Halloween patch. For any guys that haven't actually noticed, the Halloween patch is running from today till the 4th of November, so we're going to get involved, get some of those. There's some real nice weapons. We do actually see the Lucy on the red side actually has the special Halloween weapon for her, which is pretty cool. Blue team look like they do actually pick it up, but Ascar chucked his Q under there only for him to knock it out of it, which was quite an interesting tactic then. So they do pick up a nice panic coming in. He does have Infernal Scorch ready and loaded as he makes a nice petrify onto Lucy. But the problem here is whilst he petrified there Lucy, she does gain a shield here, and while she's unable to move, the blue side Lucy did actually proc her out of it. Really at this point they should be leaving her alone. She's petrified, she should make use out of this. Once she gets the shield, and also by attacking her it's going to break that early, whilst they could be making the advantage of trying to work on the Taya. Ascar has been using his shift abilities instead of going for his ultimate here, which is interesting to see. As a nice dead infection is actually going to leave the red team running quite low here. He is away from his blue side Lucy as they're trading blow for blow again. He's about 20% away from getting his ultimate. We'll see if he's gone for the shift ability again. And this is the difference here, where she hasn't been attacked, she's literally petrified for around about 2.5 seconds there. And I feel the biggest issue for the blue side is that Lucy keeps breaking out of it, and they really should just be focused on Taya like they've done here, and it's made a big difference. GG, that's going to be the blue team turn this around. This is what we saw happen in the previous round, made the blue team make a big comeback, possibly so. But nicely done. So yeah, something you want to watch out for when your opponent does actually petrify a target. Like one, they get a slight shield, so you're not gonna like just do loads of damage. Like if you do attack them, it has to break the shield, and once it breaks the shield, they can then run away. So you haven't really done anything to them. And if they can't do anything for like 2.5 seconds, it leaves Taya, who's quite low mobility really in some senses, on her own, and they can really beat her down, which they did do at the end. And they can do some more of that. I'm sure they can actually turn this game around for sure. As both teams run into the mid lane, we're going to be about 6 seconds away from mid orb coming up once again. It did prove quite important in the previous round. I'm liking Ascar's use of his petrifies though, deciding not to actually use his Infernal Scorch, and especially the fact that he's actually been hitting multiple targets then. He does just hit Taya then, but you can see how long she's unable to do anything, and they dropped Lucy down to 20% health. They really need to heal this up now. If they allow the heal up, they're going to regret it. Again, great use here, and really making some big use of his X-Shift ability, and it's nice to see. Lucy, a little bit set on the backside, does actually have his ultimate now. He may decide to use Infernal Scorch once again, going for the Petrify, and it looks like the blue team will be taking this to a final round. Really nice big turnaround, and great play by the blue team, blue side Ascar for sure. It was really nice play. Great petrifies.
Ascar happy bows on fire.
see what the red team have to answer this. They're really going to have to watch out, especially not double stacking if they both get hit by that petrify. One of them's bad enough as it is, so they're going to have to try and watch out, try and make some good use out of their wind bombs and also a tornado to try and avoid these petrifies. It's really tearing them apart at the moment. That's a great play by the blue side Askar. A nice panic coming in onto Lucy, mid orbs about 4 seconds from spawning, and we'll see who's going to be able to pick this up this time. But again, team's not really too actually interested in the mid orb, they're just looking for big trays with Askar. A nice panic away onto him, it does allow the red team to cause some big damage onto the blue side Lucy. Blue team do actually secure the middle orb, a nice firewall is actually going to block the incoming damage, but red team already has her companion. As she does get petrified here, it is going to be wasted into a stun, and nothing actually comes out of the ultimate. Great play by the blue side here to keep her on lockdown, or an ultimate wasted like that really could be lost here. Nice tornado to knock it back, but with the blue team Askar looks like he's going to continue the aggression. He could have picked up both health orbs there to deny her. A nice infernal scorch is going to cut away from a teammate and a deadly infection, and the blue team from being 2-0 around in this game have turned it around and will be taking it 3-2. There will be another game and potentially one more depending on how things actually pan out after the next one, but great turnaround by the blue side. I'm really impressed with Askar's petrifies then, they were deadly, and then actually decided in the end to use his ultimate to cut off his opponent. So GG, well played. We're just going to wait for the round to be set up, and we'll be able to jump into second game for the semi-finals. GG, really impressive. It makes me I've never been a massive player of Askar. I think he's really strong, but I've never seen anyone actually use his petrify the way that he was doing. It was great use. Even at the start, where they actually did lose the first 2 rounds, I really feel that was down to the fact that Lucy kept freaking breaking the petrify every time. And when they actually left it in it, they can do all that free damage onto the carry, and it worked out really nicely. As we're just going to wait for them to choose their map for this round. So see how it goes. There potentially could be one more game out of this, depending on the results of this one. It'd be interesting to see if the teams decide to switch it up. The Askar and Lucy towards the end worked very nicely. At the start, the Taya and Lucy was working nicely, but again, I think that was more down to the fact that they weren't making great use of their petrify at the start, the blue side. So it'd be interesting to see if they do actually change up their tactics coming into this next round. With all on the line, the winner of this will be moving on to the finals tonight, and then again the winners of the finals will be going on to the bigger finals, which will be taking place on November the 11th, with $250 up for grabs for EU and a separate $250 up for NA. I will be casting the NA tournament tonight. That will be at midnight. It's British summer time. Central European time will be, I believe, 1 AM, and I believe it works out at 7 PM for America. I will have to put brackets after this game as we're already going in, but it's the semi-finals, so the teams that are playing in this current semi-finals are Burning Sands and Mycon Beast. I'll put it up after this one, boss, so we can see who's going to be making it up in finals this week. So we're actually going to see the new champion, which is Big High. We've already seen the Wolfman. I'm not 100% sure of their names off the top of my head at the moment. I haven't gone that far. I did actually play a few games with him earlier today, and I quite enjoyed him. I felt he was maybe a little bit underpowered. I haven't had enough of a taste with him, but he seems like a lot of fun. He has a big deadly pool. Also has a bit of mobility with his potential double dash, depending on what talent you take at level 1, and then his ultimate turns him into like some big ass demon where he can actually do some big damage with his auto attack, or can actually pull them in constantly with his right mouse button. So we'll see how this pans out. He's going to be teaming up with Lucy. Once again, we're going to see Lucy and Askar on the blue side sticking to what worked for a while for them in the last round as we enter the jungle arena. It's one of my favourite maps. We'll see how it pulls out. So there we do actually see him using his pull ability, that is his counter there where he can deflect incoming projectiles. He's a really colourful champion. I like the look of him when he uses his dash there, the whole purple sense like going into the shadows, and then also where he uses his hook, the hand there. Nice damage. They're kind of trading at the moment, and it's working out nicely. He can be aggressive. Lucy can sit at the back, healing them up, and then also on top of that she can chuck a shield on him, and it's working out good. As he does have his ultimate, he has popped his ultimate now, so you can see a nice free projectiles coming in by Ascar. It's actually going to mean that he doesn't actually make any use of his ultimate this time around. So basically where his E ability is his big pull, whilst he's in his ultimate he can use that multiple times until it eventually runs out of cooldown, but Ascar really made a nice big counterplay, landing all three of his fireballs to actually knock him away so he couldn't land anything there, and just kind of waste that. So that could be a bit of an issue, wasting your ultimates like that, especially towards high level play, can cost you a game, as the blue team making good use of their petrifies once again. Middle orb is about to spawn. A nice forward firewall will keep the red team at bay. He is actually going to go in here. He does have some nice heals as well. Both of his shift abilities are heals. One of them he spins around in like a little circle and drains the target's health, and instead of his E he still does that, but he also drains their soul as well. So he does have a lot of sustain, this new champion, but he is getting poked down nicely here. Nicely worked by the blue team, and they're actually going to drop him off here. It looks like they will pick up the blue orb as well. It is actually picked up by the red side of Lucy, but I feel in this 2v1 situation she's going to really struggle. He has picked up her ultimate, but it doesn't look like it's going to do too much as we enter sudden death. Rukan, thank you very much. Thank you. I'll try and remember that. I really enjoyed it. Well, I enjoyed the games I was playing on him. I think he'd be a champion. I really liked the colour to him, and also some of his skins look pretty damn beautiful as well. So I think he's gonna be strong. It's just obviously getting used to him. I just think his shift ability is the fact that he has both of them can like heal him in some sense. I think he's really strong. Nicely taken by the blue side. It was the red team actually got off to a really good start. I felt that his aggression was working out nicely, but when he propped his ultimate and Ascar was able to knock him back with those free projectiles, and I think that was when the round pretty much got turned up on its upside down then. But we'll see how it goes in. Moving into our second round here. Nice juke coming in, and he does actually miss that pull. The thing is, once he misses that pull there, that's the big difference, being able to pull your target, and once he's done that, he does have the mobility with his dash here, but again he misses the pull, and he's losing out a lot of damage because of that. A nice pickup on the red side of the middle orb there, as Ascar is on the bottom side alone. He has already picked up his ultimate. We'll see if he decides to use his Infernal Scorch, as he's been favouring the Petrify at the moment. Nice damage coming onto Lucy. They do have a bit of split focus on where they're going to be actually going for this, as Ascar's deciding to go back onto the red side Lucy, as Rukan works on the bot side, making nice use out of his counterplay, but again, nice free projectiles coming in by Ascar, which is going to be dropping in low here. Big deadly deflection. This really could go either way at the moment. A nice pull onto Ascar, and he is going to be dropping low. Good use of his spacebar ability, and somehow Ascar is able to actually escape here as Lucy starts healing up, but a big pull will separate the two. His ultimate is up, and we can actually see him making nice use out of this time with a big pull onto Ascar, but I think he actually got caught by the corner of the wall, was why he didn't actually fully go over to him then, but great use on Lucy, and it looks like the red team will be taking this round to 1 apiece. So there we actually saw him making great use of his pull and his charge ability to finish him off. Some big damage, but at the same time he's quite skill and trade. If you're missing his skill shots, which we did actually see at the start of the round, which was costing them a bit, they're going to get poked down, but towards the end he was able to land some nice pulls. He landed a big pull with his ultimate onto Lucy, which pulled them into his red side Lucy's ultimate, and she got poisoned alive. GG, it's a 1 apiece. So the red team do win this. It will take it to 1-1, and we will see a final game. Whilst the blue team win, they will be moving on to the finals tonight. I like the little mountain, the little witch hat. Perfect. He's got pumpkin socks on. Well, I don't know they're actually pumpkin, kind of like orange socks. Of course they're pumpkin socks. Nonetheless, little things in life. As we come into the mid lane, we do actually see Khan actually has a nice horse himself as well. A little horse action. Making good use of his counter ability here, as middle wall is about 3 seconds from spawning. The red team are kind of backed out, but big damage coming onto the Ascar here. We see him make good use out of his auto attacks and also charged up with a Z then to put a bit of a pound down. He does use his R ability, which does allow him to blink onto his target, going for Lucy, but not really making anything here, as the red side are split quite heavily here. He's going to use his dash ability to try and get into the middle arena. His dash ability does cause some damage, so using it to actually try and catch up with his teammate will be, I mean, he does give him that extra bit of mobility, but will be losing out some damage to his kit. As Lucy's really caught in a corner here, she does actually make good use of a barrel roll to avoid the incoming danger for now, but Asuka is going to be keeping up the pain train. But once again, the red team really turned this around. A nice Petrify coming onto Rukon will delay things for this moment in time. Asuka did actually pick up the orb for his team. His ultimate's up, but decided to use his fireball to keep him safe for this moment in time. 2 energy orbs on the right side. We'll see if either team decide to pick this up. As Lucy does get pulled in, but a nice panic will push Rukon away for a moment in time. As both teams are trading blow for blow. These Lucys do really keep their teams healed up. We do see the red team throw him an orb to secure them the middle orb, which does actually work out this time, but not making too much damage. A nice pull in by Rukon will put some damage onto Lucy, as we do see him miss up his charge ability onto Asuka. His ultimate is up. If he lands this onto Lucy, this could be big. She is actually able to roll to the bottom side, but a nice pull coming in, as we do see Rukon picking up the bottom side Lucy, as Asuka is able to finish off the red one. And that was pretty damn hectic. Nicely done, nice turnaround in the end. I found that the blue team were kind of winning it. That all got a bit crazy in the final few seconds then. Asuka landed quite a nice ultimate, but somehow Lucy was able to roll out of trouble. He did finish her off in the end, but Rukon was too strong, and the Petrify was GG. That does sound pretty deadly, man. That does sound pretty deadly. I wouldn't be on the receiving end of that for sure. Getting pulled, charged, knocked back, and then Croak just pounding you. Plus the incaps. Now if he just goes into shadow and then comes out the incap, he's just guaranteed to land that pull, and then Rook just lands his charter. That would be the pain train right there. We just see the blue team making nice use of the range. They actually poke down Rukon a little bit, but really, I'm really surprised by Lucy's heal. The shield barrier that she's able to actually put on him, along with the heals chucking out, is keeping him alive as he's able to wait for the right moment, pull into his opponent, and start putting the pain down. Looks like the blue team are actually going to pick up this middle orb. As if the red team do take this, we will be going into one more game before entering into the finals here. Nice trades there. Lucy is actually overextended from Asuka. Nice ultimate coming in from the red side Lucy, and an even bigger pull from Rukon to keep her inside of it. And it looks like the red team will be taking this. I'm not sure how the blue side Lucy is actually still alive at the moment. Asuka is on the bottom side. His ultimate is up. He does decide to use his Q to petrify them instead of going for his ultimate. He is going to chuck down Infernal Scorch, some nice damage going on to Lucy, but at the moment unfortunately he's on his own. Lucy does actually pick up middle orb and has healed up slightly. Rukon is a little bit overextended here, and the blue team could turn this around. Nice 2 projectile hit and landing the third one, landing all 3 then, and this is what we saw in the previous round, what allowed the blue team really to snowball. And GG, really nice. So we have to remember the blue team do actually take this next round. They will be moving on to the finals. That was a big turnaround by the blue team then. I feel if Rukon had actually killed Lucy then, like he made a really nice play. I didn't really like the red side Lucy's ultimate at first, but when he actually was able to pull it back into it and Asuka was completely nowhere to be seen, it was some big damage and she got away with about sort of 10 health. It was the big difference in the end then. Sadly or not, I do not know the nationalities of the players. I can try and ask the admins potentially and see if they can find out. That's something I don't know, of course. As we see, once again, the blue team making use of the range here, and that's all they have to do. As long as they can avoid Rukon's picks here with his grab, they should be fine, as they are able to start trading some blows. But once again, Asuka being quite aggressive. He is an annoying little fireball, as he once again makes a nice petrify here. We do see a big counterplay coming from Rukon. The middle orb is actually up, it's just been knocked onto the bottom side, but neither team interested in that as they trade in big blows. Rukon does actually pick up both health orbs, a nice knockback. It does look like blue team are going to pick up the middle orb, which will be huge, as Infernal Scorch is ready. We'll decide to see how he decides to use this, as Lucy is caught on the bot side, but Rukon with under 50% health. I really feel the blue team are looking commanding position as he uses his Molten Fire to once again petrify, landing all 3 projectiles onto the red side Lucy. He's making some big work. We do actually see Rukon pop his ultimate here. He is going to miss one pull, does land the second one, but with him under 30% health, really in trouble. Asuka's going to jump back in the action after getting panicked away. His ultimate is up, and it looks like he's going to once again decide to use the petrify, which is really nice. landing 2 projectiles onto Rukan, but deciding to try and use the third one on Lucy. I feel if he'd actually have focused on Rukan would have been at the end there, as he's able to use the projectile and keep things going, but he's dropping quite low now. He does use his leap to try and save himself, but a nice jump in by Askar, getting in his shield, and GG. So our blue team will be moving on to the final. I'll get up the brackets for you bosses now. Really nicely played. I did think the red team kind of was going to actually have that at one point. But yeah, big turnaround. Askar once again kind of proving his worth. He made great use of his projectiles, really. I am amazed by the petrify plays that he was making. He decided obviously not to use his ultimate, but the amount of times he was landing the double petrify, which allowed him to work on one target whilst the other one's sort of rooted or unable to do anything for 2.5 seconds. It's big. Really, really big. So yeah, it's going to be a couple minutes before we move on to the finals. I'll bring out the brackets for you bosses now. I really feel Askar was on point there, and that was a massive turnaround. So our final was going to be Burning Sands, who was the winner of our previous one, who are going to be coming up against Halimi and Mika. Also, don't forget, if you guys want to sign up for next week's tournament, you can actually sign up right now. It's playtourney.com. I post the link in chat. If you go on there, you need to sign up, create an account, and you can register your team and add your buddy on there, and you'll be able to join for Q4, which is going to be next Friday, the 28th of October. And you can join for EU. The NA one isn't actually open at the moment. It probably will be open after we cast the NA one at midnight tonight. And then the finals, which has $250 up for grabs, will take place on 11th of November. It'll just be a couple minutes. We're just waiting for the final game to wrap up, and to be able to create the party, and then we'll be able to jump into our final bosses. Again, it will be a best of 3, so it'll be 1 game and at least 1 more, potentially 3 games in total, depending on how the rounds actually go. Alright then bosses, it looks like we're pretty much ready for tonight's final. We're just waiting for them to decide on what map they're going to play, and we're going to jump this in. So this is the best of 3, and again the winner will be going on to next month's final, which is going to be the November 11th, where there's $250 up for grabs for EU and NA. Big hype. So again, you can still register if you missed out on this one and you want to get involved. Final qualifiers will be next week, Q4. 28th of October, it'll be 7 PM for EU and midnight for NA. Just go to playtourney.com and you can register for free there. So our finalists tonight are going to be Burning Sands, which was the game we watched previously with Askar and Lucy, which proved really deadly. I was very impressed with Askar. He was certainly on point that game, and they're going to be facing up against our currently selected Baku and Lucy as Helium Mika. Big hype. No Jaden Croak, missing out on the... Oh no, Rook! So much we missed out on tonight. At least we got to see the new champions, which was pretty interesting. The Recon looked pretty strong last game, but unfortunately just weren't able to follow it up. Also to mention that both teams, do actually move on to the final, but the way it works out that the winner of this one will actually have a better seed than the runner-up. How about that? Alrighty then. So big hype, this is going to be the final, so both teams will be taking place on November 11th, with the winner going to be getting that better seed. So it's a best of 3, so we've potentially got 3 games up and going. We'll see how Askar and Lucy have been on point. They have dropped the first couple of rounds. They seem to lose the first 2 rounds and go 2-0, and then this next thing you know it's 3-2, and it's like, whoa man, what happened here? Look at this, I love this map. I just love the entrance into it. As you see, both teams starting off, we'll get rid of this fog wall. As we want just war, no fog. Alrighty then. Baku jumping in, trying to put some damage down. I did actually see some of this Baku Lucy last week. I wasn't really a fan of it. I feel Askar and Lucy are going to have the advantage here, as Baku just, okay, he does some nice damage, but I just don't think he's really going to be able to put enough damage out in this comp. But we'll see, hopefully I will be wrong. Mid orb is up, but really our blue team just seem to like the fight. They're not too interested in that. But Askar, using his mobility to actually pull back and secure it, is going to pick up both health orbs on this bottom side as the red orb. Red Lucy does actually waste her ultimate here. Askar's is ready to go. We did obviously see him make good use of his Petrify, the shift ability, instead of actually going for the Infernal Scorch. We'll see how he decides to pan out here. As the blue team really putting more damage down, and this is what I'm talking about with Baku. Unfortunately, I'm a big fan of him. I really feel in this comp he just doesn't put enough damage down, as the blue team make quite easy work of this. A nice Infernal Scorch caught both red team members up on that top side. His shield's only going to be able to protect him for so long, and GG. Really nice. Also, the thing with this map is that there isn't so many walls, so if Askar can keep away, or Lucy can keep away from the sides, then they should be in good situation. Baku's just not going to be able to do the kind of damage that he really is going to want to. Pumpkins stood no chance. So nicely done, but potentially I really feel they are going to struggle, because Baku goes in and all they have to do is Askar, well, one could petrify one, or Lucy just panics away Lucy, and Baku's just going to take tons of damage, and as much as Lucy can heal him up, she isn't going to be able to heal him up whilst doing the damage at the same time, which is going to be the issue with this comp, I feel. Askar once again making nice use of his Petrify. He only does actually hit Lucy this time, and Baku puts some reasonable damage on him. Mid orb is up once again, as we see both teams taking blow for blow. Blue team do actually secure this, nicely done by Askar. Once again, a nice Petrify coming in, allows him to land all 3 projectiles of his fireball, and that's around about 36 damage. I think it was about 12 a hit, so he's pretty much guaranteed to land that as long as they don't have his jump, which obviously in Lucy's position she doesn't. As they're caught in the corner, this is where Baku kind of wants to fight. He does actually have his ultimate up. We'll see how he makes use of his heroic charge as he charges into the ball to actually pick that up. And I think I'm not sure actually if he used his ultimate on the ball then, or what happened to it, as he has actually used up all his energy. Nonetheless, Lucy caught out on the top side. She does take a deadly infection. That wall is going to probably actually save to them, but Askar was able to jump out on the backside. Nice damage coming in by the red team as they're starting to turn this around slowly. Baku is petrified on top, so mid orb is up. We'll see who decides to take this. Potentially it may not even be used, as red side Lucy is running pretty low now, making good use of these walls. As Ashkar uses all 3 projectiles to pick up mid orb for the blue team here, picking up the outer orbs as well to gain that additional energy and health, which is going to put them in good position as this match goes on. We're about 20 seconds away from sudden death. Will we get that far? That's the question, as Lucy is dropping really low here. A nice fireball is going to actually cut her out, as the blue side Lucy is able to fire that final auto attack and pick him up. A nice dodge coming in, and Baku does actually waste his heroic charge, and that's going to be all she wrote, unfortunately. Even if he did land that, I think it would have been massive for him to turn this one around. And it'd be interesting to see how the final round goes, but I really feel the blue team is going to be taking a home sweep here, so that the red team will decide to turn things up after this. But GG, nicely played. I'm being really impressed by this Askar at the moment. I think I always thought he was a strong champion, but I've never really seen anyone actually use his shift ability to get that petrify like he has. The double petrify is huge, and then obviously he just comes out of it guarantees him to land his right mouse button, which is the 3 fire projectiles, which I said is around about 36 damage, I believe. Which, you know, it's a lot of guaranteed damage, especially when champions, say for example in Lucy's situation, he has 190 health. It's about 1/6 of her health just gone like that. Obviously if your teammate's able to follow it up as well, it's GG. Does look like blue team will be taking this one, so hopefully maybe we'll get to see some Rook instead now or something. But yeah, I really dislike, we saw a lot of the Lucy and Baku last week in the EU tournament, and I just disagree with it, you know. I really feel Baku needs kind of maybe like a Jade behind him or something. It doesn't work. Lucy can heal him up, but he just can't do enough damage, and if he starts doing some damage, then Lucy has to be healing him instead of doing her damage, and it kind of just doesn't really work out, whilst Askar can do enough damage whilst she's healing him up. And especially in Baku's situation, if he doesn't land that charge or he doesn't land that leap there, he's kind of just like, yo. And then he really needs his ultimate, and even by the time he gets his ultimate, he isn't really going to be able to do enough, and there's no guarantee that he's actually going to hit it, as we saw Askar, who's pretty mobile, was actually able to jump out of the way last one, and he's just getting poked down massively here. As we do see a bit of split focus from both the blue team here, but it's not really going to make too much of a difference, as the red team are dropped very low here. And nice pickup, the solo work, I like it. And we were able to see Lucy pretty much soloed Baku on her own then, so GG, nicely done. Blue team will take our first round, again with this being a semi-final. Final even, sorry, this is the final. Again, this will be in the final, it's a best of 3, so there will be at least one more game. Potentially if the red team can turn it around, we might see another. We're just going to wait for them to get the lobby ready again, and we'll be able to jump into potentially the final round. After that, I will be playing some Battlerite myself. We'll get to watch myself play. Mr. Big Russ. Can't promise anything special. We might give the new champ a few games, and we'll be casting the NA tournament, which should be at midnight, which is 7 PM for any Americans, or 1 AM for anyone who actually lives in Europe. GG. That was crazy. It was big damage. So I really feel that the red team needs to switch it up. I'm not a fan of this Baku Lucy whatsoever. Every time I've seen it, it just generally loses. They obviously have had some good games, but Askar is just on point. His petrify into his 3 knockbacks, which does some big damage, also creates distance from his teammates, and with his long range auto attacks allows him to probably get 2 or 3 more attacks before they can actually even react to anything. And if we're talking that's like sort of maybe, so with the petrify, if he lands everything, we're maybe talking like 70 damage himself he can like chuck out. Then you add on Lucy, so maybe we're looking at 100 damage, and that's half of an enemy Lucy's health in theory, if we land everything and if they don't juke it out or whatever. So this petrifier is working really nicely for them. Very impressed. It'll be interesting to see if either team. I believe that the blue team will probably keep the good thing going with Askar and Lucy for sure, but will the red team switch it out? Well, they're just deciding on what map they want to play on. I believe the map we just played on was actually the new map, what was included in this patch which got released today, the Halloween patch. Big patch. It was a really nice patch. Seen some nice changes to a few champions, and also 2 new champions were released, and a new map, some additional mounts, and all the cosmetics for the Halloween, which was cool. Every champion's got a Halloween weapon now, which is pretty damn dope. So Lucy Askar, will they be sticking with it? I'm be surprised if they decide to run this again, as it really didn't work out very well for them at all. If they do, I hope they can prove me wrong for sure. They're just deciding where they want to go with this. Pumpkin in the back looks like he's had better days. Ram is too happy about things. Like, no, you ain't taking me in there. He's shaking his head. No, I ain't going back in there. You ain't taking me back in there. You guys are crazy, shooting bows and arrows at me. I'd like it still be alive. Oh hell no! Don't let me in there, boss. So we should be underway very shortly. They're just deciding. I guess it's our Baku. Lucy deciding if they actually want to stick with their comp. Oh, Lucy has some real skinny legs as well, and arms. I never noticed how she's like tiny. In theory, when Baku just jumps on her, it would kind of like snap her in half, you'd think. So I believe this is actually one of her I'm not sure if this is the new legendary weapon for her. I really like the look of it. It's kind of got like the venom kind of going inside. Oh, we're actually going to see Rukan coming out. So they're actually going to be switching up. So the blue team, who are actually our victors from last round, deciding they're going to be switching up, whilst the red team are going to be keeping things the same, even though it didn't particularly work out very well. It wasn't like I feel that they were particularly close. I didn't really see any hope for them, but we are going to see Rukan, so this should be quite interesting. Melee vs melee, and obviously Lucy versus Lucy. Big hype! Our final, so if the blue team do win this, they will be our winners, which will give them the better seed for November the 11th, with the $250 up for grabs. But again, the red team will still move on, but just won't have the same seed. So we're kind of stuck looking at a wall. Great. That's what we want to look at, a little pillar. As we're moving in, we'll take off fog of war once again, so we can see the battle take place as Baku hacking the game as he's coming in riding on nothing. Style points for sure. A nice big hit. That ability of his right mouse button does take a long time to charge up, but you can see 30 damage. If you can actually land that, it's devastating. But also, once he's actually charging it up, obviously we can see Baku try and cancel it, or counter it with his shield, or potentially I thought this is a good time for him to actually go in, because it takes so long to charge. Baku could potentially jump in there and obviously go in with his dash, then proc his shield and make that try and counter play there. But we'll see how it works out. So far both teams trading plays. The blue team are going to take up the middle orb here. Rukan does already have his ultimate, and we'll see how this actually pans out as he uses his mount to get into the top side level quicker. A big ultimate coming in by Lucy, and we're going to see him once again try and pull him in, but a nice knockback by Baku, but he himself does actually get pulled into the poison there. We do see him actually miss up his follow-up E, as both teams are trading quite nicely. I really feel that the blue team want to focus down Baku. I always say that you want to be going for the support, but in a situation like this with Baku or only in 20% health, it would make sense just to drop him, and Lucy isn't really going to be able to do anything about it. But they're keeping on Lucy, and that's the way they want to play it, as they are actually split focused at the moment. Baku once again does miss his heroic charge, and if the problem is with Baku, if you're going to be missing that ultimate, if he misses that, especially in this Lucy comp, there isn't anything really going for them at all, I feel, as the blue team are taking them into the corner of this top side and should be able to take this first round very shortly. Nice damage coming in by Rukan. The fact that they got their ultimate so soon after securing middle so early was massive. Nicely done. Baku does actually have his ultimate once again, but I really feel like he's going to make nothing happen. As he does miss it, I'm not sure we've actually seen him land an ultimate this game so far, which is, you know, it's a hard, or any skill shot really in this game is hard to land, but especially when it's an ultimate. You know, there's one thing, say if you're playing Rook and you miss your charge, which is like a 10-second cooldown, especially if you take the level 1 talent, which gives you like the berserk. If you miss that, you know, it's quite deadly. You can take a lot of damage, you can kind of cover from it, but for example, if you're Baku, you miss that, one, you've now overextended, you've probably taken damage during that whole case of you actually charging in, you're split from your teammate, Lucy isn't going to cover that ground, and also you don't hit a target, so you've lost out on, or you've done nothing, and that was proved the instant. Definitely proved the case then, unfortunately. For the red team, this is do or die. If they make the mistakes here, this will be over, and our winner will be on blue side. As once again, Rukan jumping in, making some nice use, but being poked down quite nicely here. This is actually what the red team want. He does actually miss his Ash ability. Nice counterplay coming in As middle orb is up once again. Some big trades coming in. Red team looking pretty good at the moment, but do actually secure middle orb. Finally, a nice heroic charge coming onto Rukan, and a good ultimate coming in from the red side Lucy as he's dropped under 20% health. Lucy, the enemy Lucy, actually really needs to be keeping on this blue side Rukan right now as they want to be able to finish him off. His ultimate has actually popped. We'll see what actually happens here as he starts going on to Lucy. They are turning this around somehow. I don't know how he's actually still alive. I feel the biggest issue is here is that when he dropped under about 20% health, Lucy decided to try and focus the enemy Lucy when really they should have been finishing him off, and this looks like that's actually given the blue time a window as they're going to be able to secure the middle orb and potentially pick up all the health packs on this bottom side. Nicely done. Also, he gets the 25 bonus health from taking that, which worked out very nice, and great play using his charge up ability to hit the Lucy, and then also using his spacebar to close that gap. So his spacebar does obviously give him that extra mobility, but it does do around about 16 damage, I believe, and that was a really nice play and a big turnaround by the blue team. But I can't help but feel the red team should have actually won that round. They did all the hard work, but they just didn't cake the pudding. The Rukan was dropped so low then that if Lucy actually had just chucked in 1-2 auto attacks, put a deadly infection down, it would have been GG, but for some reason she decided to attack the red side Lucy and actually ended up costing them the round there for sure. Sad to say. So this could be our final round tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and crown our winners of our Q3 EU tournament. Again, it will be a couple of hours and we'll be casting the NA one again, which will be at midnight for Europe, and 7 PM I believe it works out for NA. As we jump in, both teams trading blow for blow. Rukan certainly isn't afraid to get involved as he charges in. He looks like he's taken the talent which allows him to use his spacebar twice, which is 32 damage if he lands both of those charges there. And also just the mobility it gives him, as you can see him trying to pick onto Lucy, and they're trading blows for blows. Red team looking not too bad here, but a nice counterplay coming in. They are actually going to pick up the middle orb, which could be devastating as he's already picked his ultimate up, which is going to be big. Keeping hold of it for the moment. One thing also I really like with him, wow, nice big charge coming in, and this is what we're talking about. Maybe this is where we want to be seeing. This is what we haven't seen from the Lucy and Baku all night. Big play coming up. Rukan did actually have his ultimate, and I was waiting to see when he was what he was going to actually make happen out of that, but a big charge into the wall along with a stun combo. He didn't stand a chance, and the blue side Lucy really is going to be in a lot of hurt here, as she's left in a 2v1 with sudden death coming in, and he lands his ultimate this time. Nicely done. Yeah, no, I think that is the that is the problem, that Rukan is making some really nice plays, but Baku turned that around completely then. That was what that's what he needs to do. Charging into that wall was deadly then, so really nicely done. If they can get something more like that again, then they can potentially be taking it to another game. But I feel Rukan got a little bit overextended. He was looking good, and he felt confident with his ultimate up, but a nice charge into the wall along with Lucy's deadly infection, and he got picked off pretty damn quickly then. As we see both teams enter in the mid lane, they're going to start trying to trade some blows for blows with their projectiles. A nice grab coming out. Lucy is going to be able to avoid quite quickly with her barrier there as middle orb is about to spawn. I'm sure we're going to see our first big fight evolving around that. As once again Rukan going quite aggressive here, but his Lucy is away from him, so we have to keep that in mind as she isn't going to be able to heat him up, but he's making some nice use out of his dash play along with his grab. Nice dash once again, some big damage, and with a panic onto the red side Lucy is left with Baku, and he's already dropped to under 30% health here. I really feel that they should be just forcing down the issue on Baku, but they're going to trade focus as he does actually use his ultimate, making two big grabs onto the red side Lucy then, as he is going to try and look to finish off Baku himself. And it looks like the blue team, wow, I don't know what to say really. Once he wanted it, he absolutely wrecked. That was some big damage coming at the end. Really impressive play. I don't really know where that will come out of. It was looking pretty passive for the time being. Like red team were looking alright, and next thing you know, he just went absolutely bad man mode and took that for himself. Really nicely done. So GG. So our winners of our Q3 tournament tonight are Burning Sands, which was really nice done. Obviously a lot of the Asgard and Lucy play was deadly. They did decide to switch it out with Rukan at the end, which worked out pretty damn nicely. So that is it for our EU tournament tonight. I will be playing some Battlerite myself now. I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be like 5 minutes, and I'm going to play some of the new champions. If there's any champs you'd like to see, I'm not very actually skilled in the new champ. I haven't really actually played much of them at all. But we're going to be waiting. We've got about a couple hours until the NA tournament kicks off, which would be midnight. So yeah, again, both teams will move on to November's final, which is November the 11th, $250 up for grabs. You guys can get involved if you want to actually join up for next week's tournament, which is free entry, play20.com. You can join up there now for the EU. Just as long as you've got a partner, you can go rec. So I'll be back in 5 minutes, so we'll jump on some Battlerite and look at the new champions, and maybe even get some chests or something.